Are we live there?
Oh, it
If
looks
not,
like
I'll
we're
get it
live.
on my phone. No, it's in stream. All right, guys, you are live.
Come, let me get you something.
Hello, people of the world.
Oh my God, technical difficulties. I am so sorry, guys. You know, man, I tell you, I cannot get away from these things. But I am, to be fair, I am trying a new operating system on an old laptop that is supposed to be at least decent to get it running again. And I haven't used this laptop in probably, I would say uh, probably about 5 years or so because of the operating system. Uh, if everybody has been keeping up with what Windows is doing and making you and forcing you to get into all their stuff, they're using your data, they're selling your data, they're forcing you into updates that you have to pay for that you really shouldn't be paying for. So I switched into the Zorin OS on Linux and on this laptop, and it runs it's for those who want to switch from Windows to the Linux system, and it helps provide that smooth transition from Windows into the Linux system. And I haven't been disappointed with it. And so again, I'm using my laptop. If anybody noticed, it's just a little bit cloudy because I am not on my phone. I'm not doing the show on my phone. So if I was doing the show on my phone, it'd be a lot clearer and a little better, probably. But we're gonna try it out tonight and see how everything turns out. So, welcome everybody. We got Aegis Sabers in the house. Welcome, dude.
Yeah.
It's good to be here.
Your base is in Utah.
Yes, sir. Southern Utah.
What's the name of it?
Man, Southern Utah.
Aegis
Awesome, dude.
Sabers.
Aegis?
Yep. So like the Greek shield,
Okay.
Aegis.
I'm gonna look it up.
I pronounce
Yeah,
it.
we're just a smaller brand out of Southern Utah. So
Oh, nice.
Is Aegis also a correct way of saying it, or just Aegis?
I've always said it Aegis. My buddy's a Greek scholar, and he says I say it terrible.
Aegis? Okay. Well, I do apologize if I said it wrong, man.
No problem.
I sincerely.
No. Normally, what people will walk up and say when they meet me is they're like, "Oh, Age of Sabers," and so that's why I ended up calling the YouTube channel for the Saber Shop as just a play on it, because for whatever reason it just gets confused. So,
Oh, Aegis, right?
yes, sir.
Hey, KB.
What up, KB?
Did I just walk in on the intro to the man that's behind Age of Sabers?
Yes, that's Aegis Sabers.
That would be me.
Pleasure to meet you. Finally.
Good to meet you too, sir.
All right. So what I may decide to go ahead and switch to my phone after all in a little bit because it's not lagging or anything, but
Quality would be better.
well, depending on how things go, we'll see.
All right.
Yeah, I think the quality would be better because of that. So let me log on to my phone, and we will get there. Now, is anybody had done anything special for got anything special planned for the 4th of July
Not that I know of. I
I'll be
mean,
working.
in terms of Saber?
I've got a couple job interviews I'm doing this week, and hopefully I'll hear back from one of them this week, also, which I applied for last week, and hopefully something will come through with it.
I'm actually running a fireworks stand in my hometown. I do that every summer. I've been doing that for about 13 years now. So with all the fires we've got, it's going to be a little interesting to see how the sales go. But
Yeah. Did any of the droughts make your prices go up? Because over here down in the south, when we had a drought, the prices went up and they never came back down.
Yeah, they did. They the crazy part is during the COVID years, the fireworks prices were the most insane I've ever seen them. And we sold more in those 2 years than we ever sold in the years previous or following. It was just crazy. But they did come back down a little bit, but they stayed pretty egregious.
Wow. Yeah. I think down here we slowed down on buying fireworks because of the prices.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try really hard to keep it reasonable for folks.
Cool. You having issues over there, Mundo?
Yeah, they keep getting better and better, but the thing with the fireworks too, they keep getting bigger and bigger. Prices go up.
Yep. You got some cool sabers on your side.
I remember a long time
Thank
ago
you.
whenever I was
The website's a little it's a little rundown. I have to admit, I built it myself with WordPress when I knew nothing about web dev.
A lot better than I would have done.
Yeah.
The main product that I have is on my Etsy store. We're in the process of building a new website though right now. So when that gets done, it's going to be completely new experience, lots of new stuff. So
Orlando Dog is on. What is that sound?
I think it's
the headphones connected.
Oh,
looks
it's
like.
probably like. Hang on. I'm gonna mute that.
we can hear you better though.
That's much better. Yeah.
Yeah. So the guy who just entered the chat there, Orlando, he's this kid from Australia. He's been making basically free fonts, and some of them are actually pretty good.
I remember you telling him about me. Actually, I hadn't had a chance to talk to him yet.
Yeah, he's a really chill dude. His Discord, some of the guys on his Discord are just crazy. But I was helping this guy with his config, and he was having issues with trying to.
Oh, hold on, guys. For some reason, it didn't. My headphones didn't.
You got a clone.
Echo.
Echo. Jesus. Hold on.
Always have technical difficulties.
That's what live shows are for, right?
Yeah. But basically, this guy I was trying to help. He was trying to switch the color on his Profi, but for some reason, it kept on just giving him the boot noise. And I look, I'm still learning Profi myself, so I'm thinking maybe it was something on the config file, but I'm hoping I'll be able to help him.
Sometimes that's the case. Do you know what OS he was using? Was it 7.4? Was it 8?
Let me look real quick.
Normally what will end up happening with like a font directory not found or something along those lines is you have some sort of error in the blade style code that's not recalling perfectly to your actual like font list.
It's nothing like that. I think I know why. The config he was using was the default one for that comes with LGT sabers. His chassis is an LGT, and it doesn't have the OS listed up top. So
yeah, they're also, if I'm not mistaken, running on OS 6, 6 point something, which you technically can get away without a common folder. 7.14 you can as well, but not the latest.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. Well, look, I'll talk to him and I'll update his config file again. But OS 6.
Sorry, guys. Hold on.
That's
You're
what it
good.
was. OS 6.5.
Yeah, I have this one right here. Actually, is a Nexus core that I've been working on, and it doesn't like OS 7.
Well, I mean, so far I haven't had any issues, and I actually did a big conversion over with a guy I know in Madison, Wisconsin. And by the way, note to self: if you ever send a bunch of Profi 2.0s, 2.2s to someone to convert, don't have the money to pay all at once. Don't do a payment plan. It's a bitch. I've learned that. I've learned the hard way with that.
You have to be kidding me.
Yeah, but other than that, I prefer Profi 3.9 because you're able to get away with doing so much cooler blade styles.
Yeah. Yeah, your processing speed is a lot faster. It's a more efficient board for sure. That's what I'm mainly excited to be working with 89 Sabers for primarily is their pre-built 3.9 stuff.
Here's a question.
Okay.
Have you heard stories of a newer Profi board coming out next year? I believe it's a newer Profi 4 point something. I heard this from Randy Johnson, who is.
I heard something about that earlier. Someone was talking about it. I just don't remember who.
Yeah. Oh wow, Megatooth. I've heard that name before, but I've just never really. Yeah, dude. Wow. I'm glad you're feeling better, dude.
Yeah, Meg is like the guy that I learned how to do all my Profi programming from.
What up, Meg too?
I learned mine from Light Blue Sabers, who converted my master replicas, most of my master replica sabers to Profi. Yeah, and tomorrow my Jaina and Jason solo sabers will be coming in from Mountain Sabers.
Excellent.
These were one of the last ones that Corbantha was selling. I got them as empties, and thanks to Tim from Tierfon Orbital, he was able to make some really good chassis for it. And as an add-on, I took 2 Cobalt D-rings from the custom saber shop, and I had them attached to Jaina and Jason.
Sweet.
I was going to do CoverTech wheels, but technically CoverTech wheels weren't used as much in the EU Legends.
That's correct.
It was just a way to do that, you know.
I had a lot of people asking me for the CoverTech wheels for the Rebel Agent that I'm going to be releasing. Oh gosh, probably in a couple weeks now. We're finally finished on the testing for that. So,
wait, well, actually, yeah, technically, the Kuran Saber could technically have a CoverTech wheel, but at the same time, we have to remember that the original prop had a D-ring, and this was before the CoverTech wheel was considered a greebly for lightsabers when episode 1 was being filmed.
No, the original prop that was used had an eye bolt just kind of buried into the pommel so that the actor could have something to hang it from. I had some people asking me for that, and I was like, no, I'm probably just going to go with the D-ring, keep it simple. But CoverTech was and it gets in the way of the grip too. What I ended up doing was I had Nexus tap the hilt for the CoverTech wheel, so you can add it if you want to. It doesn't come standard. Is it working now?
Lindo,
Hey guys, have you ever thought about swapping the CoverTech to have the CoverTech on your belt and have the hook on your saber?
I mean, for different sabers, I just have it for what it is. Like, for example,
that's a really cool idea.
Well, for example, I think one thing that I did like about the Acolyte, which yes, I know it's the Acolyte. Da 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 da. I like how they had it where.
Can you hear us?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Double.
Yeah, I like how how their sabers had both a D-ring and a CoverTech wheel, which I didn't mind, but at the same time, it was just like.
It's too much.
Yeah.
It all depends really on what you're looking for. Like, for example, the Luke Skywalker A New Hope lightsaber that was made by Master Replicas, the Force FX, the D-ring is very small.
Yeah.
So what I did with that was I took a CoverTech wheel and put it on that saber, and basically it just looks like the Graflex that we see in the Kenobi series briefly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to swap mine around to put the CoverTech on the belt and
what happened to my picture?
For itself.
Jesus.
Probably got to make a little little mount for the.
I swear, my phone is getting all goofy today.
Yeah, you're echoing and double.
You're doubled up.
Yeah.
You got two of me.
Yeah. Mundo, maybe you should take off your computer one because
There you go.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I've already logged out of that thing, but let me see. Remove. Got it.
I seen your sabers at Mountain Sabers been installing Barris.
yeah, I'm
They are
looking.
cool.
And the last one that he's working on is an SP Sabers Fisto.
Nice.
And I can understand why now why the ones that Loretto Sabers makes are much better than SP, because apparently the sound ventilation isn't as good because it's usually either from a little ring thing underneath a rubber thing, or and there's not a holes in the pommel area. So depending on how things go, I might have to send it back for some modifications. But other than that, I mean, they definitely are hefty sabers, and they do look great.
That was the problem I had too with the new Rebel Agent. Was the sound porting was terrible.
Yeah.
One thing what you could have done was do a circle but held together by four grooves. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, I don't think accuracy when it comes to the hilt is going to matter much when it comes to the pommels for sound ventilation.
I don't think so either.
Like, I mean, if you look at the version that we got from LDM Sabers, I mean, what mostly matters is just the main look and antique of it.
Right. Yeah. So I basically just took the original 1.0 and I enlarged it, so it's not, so small anymore. Now it's a little bit larger. But yeah, trying to figure out how to get the porting vents for the sound correct. It took a little bit. So it's been in R&D for about 5 months. So I'm ready to get it done.
Nice.
There we go.
Oh, that's a much better Mundo. That's way better.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I gotta catch up on all that.
We just
Let's see
been
here.
chit chatting while you get set up.
Yeah, no, that's good, guys. Thank you all so much. I can't believe how much is going on with this thing today. I expected I hadn't had this much of tech diffs in a good while.
If it's not you, it's me.
I'm telling you. But, and again, you got to try different things, right? I mean, sometimes in order for things to get better and grow, you got to do different things. And,
That's true.
with what we're talking about today, are we going to go back to found parts? Because of the fact that, we have the MHS system that's gone. Then we have the, we got some companies that have been gone that we really enjoyed, getting stuff from, as well as now we're fighting, to control our 3D printers, our cars, our phones. I mean, the states are just trying to take everything away from us, and we're trying to hold on to those little things that mean so much to us, right? And so what little things that we can do, but the creativity they cannot take away from us. So with the creativity comes in play of, are we going to go back to looking for parts in trash bins and different places, electronic stores that are still around? Mo has showed me one that's in Houston that is huge, and it's got a plethora of spare parts.
You ever wanted, it's in there.
Yeah, and so if anybody went to Houston and went to that shop, I guarantee you're gonna find a lot of stuff for the lightsabers.
Scott, lots
boards.
of
I mean, gears, boards. I mean, stuff that you can literally, lot of greeblies you can put into your saber, right?
Yeah, I wish we had that here.
Well, listen, I think the current Home Depot Lowe's build concept that's going on, I think that the going back to found parts is going to be like going through junkyards and whatnot. I feel like that is going to be a natural progression to it. I think it's going to happen. And when it does happen, you're going to see people like Roger Christian and even, I'm sure, people that worked at Lucasfilm back in the 70s post about it and be like, no way this is happening. No way. It's
kind of a full circle.
And I love it. I personally love it.
I love it
Get
too.
it in the house.
Yeah.
That's actually how I started, just buying little parts here and there, and then I found this whole world of people that actually sold saber parts.
Oh, Tom's in the house. Meg 2's in the house.
What's up, buddy? Watch Fireworks and have a Patriot blade. Awesome. I love it.
Patriot.
Have you doing better, Meg 2?
Any builders?
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Oh my God! Wait,
Orlando's in the chat. Woohoo! What up, Orlando?
oh my God! Okay, this guy named Joseph Zamora just posted 2 hours ago. He's got a bunch of pixel blades, including threaded blades, and he's got all these like cores, SNV4. He's got all these Xeno cores. Like, this is crazy.
Is it on Facebook?
Yeah, it's under the lightsaber builders page. Most of them are Xeno and baselit, and just, oh my God. And he says, oh my God, this is just crazy.
Man.
Oh God.
Has anybody heard anything from TCSS?
I know that they still have some parts available. I mean, and I know they didn't stop with blade plugs or anything like that. The blade plugs that they get are very reminiscent of what is on the Saber Armory or KR Sabers.
But I haven't seen anything since their main post. I think they sent something out a couple days ago, but I haven't seen anything since then.
Well, I mean, I mostly get stuff from the stuff I usually have got from them. I mean, they're still doing blades, which is nice because I've got their quantum heavy blade, which it's not as bright as, civilized sabers, but it's still good for a starter kit.
I want to try to get one of the civilized sabers, the duos or the tri-stars, and just for my own personal collection for the new stuff that I've got coming out, for demo videos and stuff. That would be so rad.
Well, while you're at it, you might as well get the batteries that will also work well with them because,
it'll suck a 3,000 milliamp dry.
Yeah, Orlando.
Yeah, they're the Phoenix batteries, and they are really well made.
Yeah, Orlando. I'll talk with Tommy later. I'll get with Tommy in a couple of days, and I'll see about trying to help with that. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'm like trying to catch up with all the things here because I can't do all the comments on my phone. So I'm using the comments on the laptop here. So I can make sure I get everybody in. It's running a little slow. I think something's going on with my Wi-Fi. Go figure.
Yeah, Proppy's
Can't get that
be
lucky. I can never get that lucky. Tom's birthday was a couple of days ago, man. Happy birthday, Tom.
Happy birthday.
He says literally back from the dead, had a major medical calamity. Happy to be vertical. Well, we're glad to have you here, buddy.
Indeed.
Missed you. Yeah, it is what it is, Tom. Technical divs come with when you're doing live stuff, but you roll with the punches. Roll with the punches.
Are the accents on different props? It's just random stuff that gets attached to it to make it look more Schwarzy.
Chorzy. Now, dude, what is your favorite board to utilize within your sabers?
Mundo, you talking to me?
Yeah.
So that's a $1 million question. I mean, the vast majority of the stuff that I use, I like the SMV4 just because it's stable and it works really well. I don't like the app. I've talked with the engineers at TXQ, and I've beat my head against that wall so many times trying to get them to work on it. And I mean, it works for what it is. Nexus does a better job with the web dev. But when the Xeno version 3 board first came out, it was a train wreck. Had tons of issues, and I moved away from it because of that, and I went to TXQ. But lately, these days, most of my stuff is Profi. I just find that it's just better overall. I don't like the controls. I'll be honest with you. I'm working with a guy to help me write up a new button layout config file. Just because I don't necessarily love the standard one button from FET263. It's a little much, especially for like your average person who's just getting introduced to a Profi for the first time. It can be so overwhelming. So
yeah, it can be. I mean, that's why I haven't done it yet. But I tell you, Meg and he is a Profi wizard.
Yeah,
he is a Profi wizard.
I watched his videos, and he's who taught me how to do it. So a lot of sleepless nights.
When I had my Force FX lightsabers converted to Profi, I actually first had them converted to Profi with baselit. So that was a bit of a fun journey. This was before I found out that pixel blades were getting much stronger.
Oh yeah.
And then that's when I started to learn more about how Profi worked, and I just was able to learn about it. I mean,
I will say though, with like integrating new stuff for your average person, for example, like all the new sound fonts that I'm getting released for all of my EU themed sabers, it is so simple to just drag and drop for SMV4 and for Nexus. It's so simple a caveman could do it, to be cliche.
I am not going to
so
repeat that to anyone that I work with at conventions. I worked with Rebel Sabers as a tech support for Xeno back in February, and I was going to do so in a couple weeks at Knoxville, but something came up, so I couldn't do it. But the idea is that, with average con goers, they're not going to really know how to use, Xeno and whatnot. So I'm just there to help.
Yeah, they know nothing. Yeah,
and
most of the time. You'll find the occasional guy who does, but very, very, very rarely.
Yeah, and also, I also set myself up for anyone who knows anything about with the three main ones I would say are the most mainstream would be Profi, Xeno, and SNB4. I don't know much on Golden Harvest or CFX, but I can learn. It would be a simple learn over it.
CFX is good. I have another potential release for some CFX boards that I'm going to be integrating into it, like not a master chassis, but like one step below that. They're going to be resin printed, and they'll be installed with CFX boards with all the accoutrement that goes with a higher end drop-in core.
Like Goth 3D or something, or
yeah, not Goth 3D. I have another guy working on it, and we're trying to move things in house. The one thing that I really hate is how everything gets outsourced to China. And going back to your original point about found parts, I think that's the natural progression because there's just so much that is oversaturated the saber industry. At least in my own personal experience, I've seen that where I feel like I wake up and there's another company offering Nexus catalog products and there's no innovation. And so people are just trying to find anything that is unique to them. It used to be back in the day, you could find something you wanted and it was cool. And even if, your buddy had one, it was slightly different, but now
even Nexus catalog, even back when Nexus was hitting the US under Darkwolf and some of the OG, vendors, it was still pretty cool, and they still are. And I think it just all comes down to recognizing which store is the most reliable. Yours is
I agree
obviously
with that.
reliable.
Well, no, yeah. I mean, I understand that what store is more reliable, but again, with going back to the point of found items, you want that uniqueness because again, like
Exactly.
like Aegis is saying, you have all of these companies coming up and offering the same thing. And even though you might have it slightly different, a
Right.
different color, or a different board, you're still it's still the same saber. Whereas you find a part, let's say you go to a hospital and they're throwing away one of those IV holders, and the little screws and stuff that hold that rod that makes the rod go up and down. You take that out and you put that in your saber somewhere as
Oh, the
you
neural
you
nets.
you board out and you use it as a part of the saber for a greebly or even as part of the saber itself. And there's your found part, and you individualize your saber from that point on because it is a found part, right?
And I understand why most saber companies don't. It's tens of thousands of dollars and a year or more of waiting for whatever it is that you're trying to produce that is, somewhat unique, if you will. I've been chasing the old EU hilts for God, like 6 years at this point. Like I've got, my original Gen 1, Yoon right here, which was
Mhm.
it is what it is. It was okay when it first came out. It's not what I wanted. And I took a lot of the criticism for it and I changed it and made it better. But I don't think people realize how expensive it is. And that's not an excuse to not innovate. It's just, it is what it is. So if people are going and finding their own unique parts, and I think it's cool. I really do. I hope that actually that breathes new life into a somewhat overplayed industry.
I think it
being
will.
Of innovations and profis and CFXs. Just yesterday, just out of curiosity, I put into Chat GPT to design a three board interface pin map, so where each board can be swapped out using JTS connectors, and it actually gave me the formula for it. So it'd be an 18 pin triple board interface map, and it made 18 pins common to the CFX, the Profi, and the Golden Harvest 3 pads. So you would just be able to take it off and put the other board on, and it would work because the pins are the same.
Scott.
Just soldered onto the board set differently. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, even if you create, like if you have a lathe or if you have a laser cutter, you have a mill of some sort, just different tools to get to that point where you're creating something that will add to the lore of that particular saber. Not only the lore, but the story behind it, right?
Right.
And I think in this day and age, that's what we want, is to have the story behind the saber instead of saying, here's the saber. We already know the story and that's it. I mean,
yeah.
We still have yet to tap in to all of the different worlds that we have not visited. You open the encyclopedia of Star Wars and you have all these planets and all these things, and people are looking in there, but that's the extent of it. Where, if you have your creativity and you have the means to do that, and I've seen some really awesome stuff, and Scott is one of those. I mean, he's made some awesome freaking sabers, and the way he's put stuff on them as far as Greeblies go is just phenomenal, right? But you want that background story to really shine through with the saber itself, and with like Cal, a lot of the sabers that he had, back then, there was, when everybody really started coming out and getting into all of this after 20, I think it was what, after 2017, 2018 is when it really started hitting big. And there was stories behind all of the builds. And then slowly throughout the years, all of these stories just disappeared. And there's no more lore. It's like, okay, it's in this universe. It is this accurate saber, and it is this particular master. It is this particular Sith, and that's it.
Yeah.
But where's the backstory?
Now, where's the heart?
Yeah, we've lost that. We've lost that.
Yeah, there's a severe degree of commercialization that has really taken something that used to be, I mean, 100% unique. I remember back when I first graduated high school and I was just getting into making sabers for the first time. And I started out with the custom saber shop, and I had a Force FX, like a master replica that I had converted with TCSS parts. And I remember watching LDM stuff. And I remember when Rob dropped his original Corrin Horn, and my mind was blown. I mean, because that's my favorite book from the expanded universe, one of my favorite characters of all time. And it just, to see what I had seen in my head from the book made real, it was just, I mean, it's a grail saber for me personally. I don't know that I'll ever find one. I was way too young, had no money. I still have no money.
I don't either. and it's no secret, man. I have $50 every 2 weeks to spend for myself. That's it. The rest is bills, dude. but I make it work. You know, I save up and I'm able to get a couple of hilts here and there and saving up for it, right? So yeah, I mean, and if I don't have the money for sabers, at least I'm getting money for parts, you know, wires and LEDs and at least that stuff that I can have those and get ready. And you know, again, interesting stuff, because I see your 3D printers back there. I've got a CC as well. You got the
Apologies
CC
if they're too loud. I can turn them off.
No. Don't turn them off. Don't turn them off. They're not loud at all. I can't even hear them. So I'm just, because I'm thinking about getting the CC2 as well. And what's your take on it? Is it pretty decent?
Oh yeah. Bamboo Labs makes phenomenal products. I've got a P1S right there. This is actually the Elegoo Centauri Carbon, which the first one I got was a certified piece of garbage, and I had to send it back. This one works fantastic though. Oh yeah. And then I've got the Centauri 1 directly behind my head here, and then 2 more Elegoo machines on the other side, because I do a full cosplay printing service as well that I do. So.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, I've got the CC1, and mine has been, I think I've got about 3,500 hours on it right now. And this was today was the last 2 days was the first time that I've actually had messed up anything. And, you know, it's so easy when you're trying to change that hot end to pull those wires in the board, and it's crazy, man. So I just finally got it running again after 2 days. I had to order a part from Amazon.
The hardest part, I feel like, with 3D printers is just the maintenance. It's half of it's just keeping them working right.
But see, and that's another part of innovation right there, because now we're also trying to fight for the, you know, what we deem as legal downloads, legal, acceptable,
the right to prepare or repair.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
What is the way around that? You modify it a little bit, and then you can go ahead and sell the part.
Well, see, the way it's going right now, and it started in California, and it's kind of going all, you know, different places. I think Washington and California have it right now. What they're trying to do is shapes. They're trying to make it illegal for the shapes, because they want to save people from ghost guns.
Yeah.
But in the long run, it's not going to save anybody, because you can go to Home Depot, Lowe's, anywhere, and make a damn gun out of that shit. And you still, you're not going to stop somebody who's going to want to do that.
So,
but what you are,
nail gun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
My
But
day job is actually working in private security, and I can tell you right now, it's very easy. You do not need a 3D printer. That's probably the hardest way. You're more likely to hurt yourself than you are to, use it for anything nefarious.
I agree. But what they're doing is not only are they infringing on the rights of people, but they're destroying businesses as well, because you have loss of innovation, you have loss of children learning different things, you have loss of hospitals and businesses that could actually 3D print and make parts to help people, especially like hospitals. They can 3D print a piece for a artificial heart, and when you stifle that, you're killing people.
Well,
because
didn't one of Ford's executives just come out and say that it was actually dangerous for people to actually perform their own repairs on their own vehicle?
Yeah, I saw that, and that's not true, because what it is a control of telematics. They want all your data to sell to from brokers and everything. They want to know where you're going, who you're talking with, what you're doing, all the telematics. It is big money business in there, and I guarantee you that those things, they don't want to lose that amount of money.
No, they don't. Barris, did you have something to say? Sorry, I saw you speak up for a second.
No, I was talking about the whole fixing your old car thing. Listen, it is, if you know how to fix a car, and if you know how to do it all and whatnot, you shouldn't let a company or a dealer stop you. I mean,
nope.
People used to fix their own cars all the time if they couldn't get a major thing with it, Yeah. Plus AI and Siri, it is actually helpful with that.
There's a lot of money to be made. Yeah, there's a lot of money to be made in doing that sort of service. But I remember I went to college in the Midwest, and I had a couple of buddies who were farmers, and they were telling me all the time about how a lot of the farming equipment, they would try so hard to prevent farmers from doing any kind of maintenance or repair work, to just force them to have to come back to the manufacturer for any kind of any kind of maintenance or repair work, or they would void the warranties. Really predatory stuff.
Yeah.
Capitalism.
Yeah, I think they just want to profit on the maintenance as well. Let alone.
Well, that's it. I mean, it's all the major companies and all the higher rich people that they can't. They don't want people to repair their stuff, because there's no money in people repairing their stuff. But the legacy of you going outside and fixing your car or the truck with your grandpa or your dad, those are memories that people have had, and they want those kind of memories to stick around, right? You fix the car on a Sunday afternoon or Saturday afternoon, and then you go out with your family and it's fixed, it's good. You know where it was, you know how it was fixed, if something messed up, you know how to fix it. And I guarantee you, a lot of these people in a lot of these dealerships, they have no freaking clue what the hell they're doing.
None whatsoever. And to be fair, a lot of the new vehicles that are coming out are so wildly overbuilt and over complex. I'm not surprised. I mean, you take a kid fresh out of tech school, who's basically just got that massive diagnostics equipment in front of him, and he's plugging it in, and he's getting 40 different error codes. He has to be a programmer and a mechanic. It's not as simple as just it's an old push rod engine. I just gotta take it apart and more or less rebuild it.
Did you say overbuilt and just overbuilt and
over-engineered and overbuilt? The new stuff is.
Jesus, I might as well buy myself a World War II German Panzer, because those things, even though they're overbuilt and over-engineered, they are simpler than what's coming out now.
No. See, you don't want a Panzer with a Mercedes in it. What you want is a Sherman with a Detroit diesel in it. That's what you want.
Yes, well, I know that's the joke.
That's a good one, dude. I agree.
Fun story.
Those are one of the best engines out there.
Yeah, the Mercedes engines that were in the a lot of the Panzers, they actually caused so many problems that it actually stalled out the advance. I'm a World War II nut. Sorry, I won't start ranting about that.
Yeah, no, it's all right. Yeah, I know.
We got to talk more, dude, because my father-in-law, my wife's
Sherman with a Detroit diesel engine, gas engine. Because seriously, I will take that over a freaking Tesla.
Yeah.
I won't even touch a Tesla.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how long they're going to last. Really, I mean, you can only have so many landfills full of wrecked Teslas and those old batteries. I don't really know what's going to happen with all that. So I'm on the fence with electric cars for right now. I don't have anything against them. I just don't really know if you can trust it just yet.
Yeah.
Little scary when you see the driver asleep and the car's moving.
I tell it to my dad all the time.
I was in Phoenix last weekend for Phoenix Fan Fusion, and the Waymos that are driving around, that stuff is sketchy, really freaky. And not too long ago, there was one that went through an active. The police and somebody were in a shootout. I can't remember where it was, but the Waymo drove right through it. Bullets were flying, and it cruised right on through because it has no idea how to recognize any of that. It's really rudimentary stuff. But yeah, it was a one-time deal. I'm sure that it was fixed, but I'm sure it scared the hell out of the people inside.
Right.
0 out of 10. Would not recommend.
No.
Again, of course, getting to the point where the 3D printing as well. That to me was almost as good as a found part, because when you started basically 3D printing your own chassis, right? I mean,
yes.
It was really hard for somebody, you can make setups, but getting chassis, sort of like this from the custom saber shop, and then utilizing the other parts, the metal parts, the wires, to make it look custom as well, right? And you got and you make it your own by doing different things, utilizing real crystals, utilizing different components. And one of the things that I enjoyed, because Rob Pedcow really did well on teaching all of those that were wanting to do their own chassis, and get the parts from the custom saber shop and make it their own. I mean, there was a bunch of parts the same, but there were so many that it wasn't, nobody had the same thing, because there were so many different parts to it. And again, in utilizing that kind of stuff, you have found parts, but at the same time, they're not really found. They are produced, right? But TCSS was just one avenue. And then you have these other companies that could print out these things. Then the FDM printers came out. Then the rosin printers came out. When rosin printers came out, they had a significant amount of detail and smoothness to it that you can't really get with an FDM, but you can get a very decent smoothness with an FDM print, but it's still not the same as a rosin, correct?
Yeah, the resin stuff, the resolution, especially on the new ones that are coming out. I mean, if you look at, so my buddies are all into miniature, like Warhammer 401 and stuff like that, and the miniatures that you can get out of those resin printers it's incredible. They're better than the War Game Workshop in some aspects, or on par with it, if nothing else. So
I'm gonna have to bring it down just a little bit because my battery's getting like real hot on the phone. So
no, but to your point about the found parts, I think that's something, at least with my own brand, that I'm really trying hard to move in a new direction, because there's just so much of everything that's been so overplayed. I just want to get away from it. And I think something that's kind of untapped, that at least for me personally, I like the crossover stuff, and I don't see a lot of that in the Saber community. I mean, there's only so much that we can reproduce, remake, and retread the same ground within reason. There are certain designs, like I won't touch anything that Rob Petkow's done. I know there are some people who, you know, since Genesis Custom Sabers is out of business now, they're like, oh, it's open season on Rob's designs, and I'm just like,
it isn't. Like,
No,
you don't touch perfection.
Like, it all goes back to the '89 Sabers Sloth Furnace controversy with the
Oh, did we lose KB?
the derelict lightsaber. Like, just because
He said he'll be back in a bit.
just because
Okay.
Sloth Furnace made a version of the
I'll be
derelict
right back.
from
I can still hear you guys.
from the Old Republic video game doesn't mean a company gets to do the same thing.
I agree.
Although, don't get me wrong. I mean, the debate on that design is still out there, and whether or not 89 actually got their hands on something that Sloth Furnace made. But the way I see it is that sabers from, like, for example, from the Old Republic video game, they can be made. The majority of them that can be made, it's just expensive to. And there's right now, I would say, a good handful of them out there, including, you know, Revan sabers, you know, the Venzala lightsaber, and it's possible. Even the one that Loretto Saber Bay made, the Dark Matter staff, that, it can be done, but it's expensive, and placing the chassis in there is a bitch from what I've seen.
Yeah.
So I think it's possible, and I'm all for companies like 89 Sabers to make them in good qualities. I just think that it all comes down to the demand for them and the desire to make it.
It's true. And what in getting back to my point about creativity, one thing that I'm trying to do for the next couple of years, like I put out the post, maybe like 2-3 months ago, about wanting to do the Highlander film, turning the Connor McLeod katana into a saber, which is still in production. I'm still working on it. It's just taking a while. It's actually quite.
I tell you, I have already had plans for it, and I've talked to. I don't know if they're still around, but if they are, let me direct you, because if that, maybe you can do it, since I can't do it, but maybe you can. If you go to Texas Custom Steel. Okay, I had talked to him in, I think it was 2018 or 2020, about the Adrian Paul's hilt, his saber. If you watched the series in the 90s, did you watch that with Adrian Paul?
Yep.
Okay, so his sword, I had talked to Texas Steel Custom Props. They quoted me back in 2018, 2019. It was 300 and damn, I have to look back at the text. It was like 370 something bucks for just the hilt part itself, right? Yeah. But it is of, I don't know if it's a pure rosin type reproduction of it, because I had asked them without the blade, and they said, yeah, even without the blade, it is that price. So, but then again, it was that long ago, so I don't know if it would be. But they do have the molding for that particular sword.
Yeah, so that's actually part of the problem that I've been running into, is that on one hand, the community around the Highlander stuff is very gatekept for the sword designs, and I understand why. but the original swords themselves were a fiberglass casting over the tang of the blade. So it's just like a katana is made, where you have like a full tang that goes all the way, or at least halfway through the actual hilt, if you will. And so what we were running into when we first started drawing out the concepts, and I was talking to my engineers, because I'm having TXQ make the hilt. What we were running into was they couldn't, or wouldn't, I should say, wouldn't is the right verbiage. They would not mill it from CNC because it would be too expensive, which is 100% bull. They just didn't want to go through the effort to actually model out how complex I wanted it to be, which isn't to say that I wanted it to be too complex, but to find a fine line between the original artwork that I put out and something that people would be happy with has been quite challenging. But I don't want to make it with a like a resin casting over a central core. That's 100% unacceptable. And I told them that. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. And you can refund my deposit for all of the work. I'm not going to do that. And so they were like, no, wait. And so I've had somebody in the States that I've been working with, Darkside Sabers, actually, who was working on his version of the Duncan MacLeod saber. I'm having him work on doing my
There you go.
Connor MacLeod. So yeah, Don's been a great guy to work with. He's incredibly brilliant machinist, and it's just taking a while because it's a lot of work. It just is.
Yeah, and let me reiterate also, and I don't know what I said because my phone kicked me off, and I apologize. But again, going through that, when I was going ahead and trying to get that accomplished, I was looking at the ripper blades for the blade itself, right? So, maybe you can accomplish it.
I've talked to Tim from Mystic Knights about doing a run of katana blades for me. I'm still not sure how I'm going to do that yet, but as of right now, they'll be compatible with 1-inch standard NeoPixel and baselit blades across the board. I don't want them to be 7/8. Some people find 7/8 to be better. I personally prefer 1. So
works, but not in this case.
Yeah, I want to keep it 1 inch. I wish I had a sample. I printed it out and then I just chucked it because I didn't think I would be showing it off. But so far we've finished the concept out for the main hilt. We're just working on getting the engravings finished. Probably shooting for a later in the year release, but I don't want to give too many false hopes on that because I know a lot of people were really interested in that hilt. So.
And I've gone through some sword experiences with Adrian Paul, the guy that played Duncan. It's pretty cool. If you haven't been to, yeah, he is. Have you been to one of his sword experiences?
I met him at Fan Expo in Salt Lake City, and he was he was so fun to talk to. He's an absolute gentleman.
Yeah, I went to 2 of them and got a picture with him and everything, and the experience was just unbelievable. He's so kind as well.
He really is
so kind, and those are the type of celebrities you want to have fun with and deal with. So
yeah, no, I agree.
Definitely.
I don't get a chance very often to leave the booth when I'm at some of the bigger shows, just because I have so many people walking up asking me to fix things or bringing me, gosh, I've had people bring me Ultra Sabers to fix right there at the booth. I've had people bring me my own stuff that they need replacement parts for. So I very rarely get a chance to walk away. I'm just too busy working. But when I do get a chance to, I got to meet Adrian. That was a lot of fun. John Rice Davies was another guy that I got to meet. And he was amazing.
Oh man, yeah, he is. Like, I haven't met him, and I so wanted to meet him, but
his staff gets
I heard he is such
nice.
a cool dude. He's energetic as well.
Yeah, he really is. So, like at FanX last year, he stayed well after the show was over, and he was just hanging out with the all of the people that volunteered, and just talking and answering all the questions, and he couldn't get enough of it. And you see so many people that are there and all they want is just to get the cash grab. They're not nice, they're not pleasant, and it's really disheartening because you'll have these people that meet them and they wait in line for like 2 hours and it's like $250 sometimes, and then they're a total dick in person. It's rough.
It is. You know who else is actually kind of cool to check out?
That's me.
Is Sam, the guy that played Flash Gordon.
Yeah. Yeah, to answer your question, Titan Gray, Aegis Sabers is doing the Highlander hilt. So we're still in progress for that, but yes, that's Aegis Sabers. So
yay! You can
when you're
vicariously I can live through you. I wanted so long to do that, but if you're gonna do it, oh man, thank you, love you, buddy.
I'm working on.
I had so long wanted to do it. I was hoping that Texas Custom Steel would give me a break on that, and I could get it done. But man, they wouldn't come down on it.
The hard part is that trying to take and the problem with the original prop, the film prop, is that it's paper thin because it was an epoxy fiberglass resin cast over from a mold, and so it's not dimensionally accurate to a real katana at all. The suka, the hilt on a real katana is like this thick, and the resin casting is like that thick. You cannot. I've never seen a chassis that thin that you could put inside there, and more importantly, it would be so flimsy you couldn't use it for anything. So trying to find a fine line between making a katana that has like a flat profile oval, which is what I want. I don't want it to be perfectly round, so it'll be an oval with a round central core for my own cores that you'll be able to drop in, or the SMV4 that's going to come stock with it on the mid tier. But you'll also be able to install your own stuff as well. I want to make it so that it's modular. I don't like making stuff that people can't make into their own thing, because I know that there's plenty of people who like to do that.
Yeah. Keep me posted, man. I'll start saving up.
It won't be that expensive. I purposefully do not price things as expensive as I should, and I probably have lost out on a lot of money. But no, I'm a sucker for charity cases, and I do you right. I do you right. I grew up dirt poor, and I couldn't afford anything. So I don't like when you see, especially being a reseller for a lot of the Nexus and TXQ products, I will see some of the most shisty, overpriced nonsense, and I just
the 10K hilt.
Yeah, it pisses me off. It really does.
Hey, are you an outdoor guy?
Mundo, you cut out. I didn't hear that.
Are you an outdoor sportsman? Are you an outdoor sportsman?
Oh yeah, no, I compete in USPSA. I work private security. Yeah.
So you do a lot of out like camping, hunting, all that good stuff?
So my uncle grew up hunting. I never got the chance to do it, but I grew up riding dirt bikes, being outside. I've rebuilt small engines. I've done all that stuff. But yeah, no, I'm very avidly outdoors as much as I can be.
Okay. All right. Well, guess what, dude? Here's an open invitation if you ever get the chance. I've already invited some of these guys out to a ranch of mine, and when you get a chance, I'd like to invite you out to my ranch and have a good time.
Sweet, dude. Thank you.
When are we gonna have that?
It's not too big, but it's not too small either. They say everything is big in Texas. It's in between.
We're supposed to have a SaberCon over on your ranch.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do a Saber Talk Sunday at the ranch one of these days.
That would be fun.
So
I love Texas.
Yeah,
I went there for Baylor once. I loved it.
I'm in South Texas, so in the Corpus Christi area.
Gotcha.
I'm just a little bit north of here.
I'm right on the water where we can fish and My ranch is about an hour out from where I live, so
So right there on the coast, the
not
Gulf
bad.
Coast.
Yep.
Okay. And we
Check
don't
out
have
your
a whole
map
lot of water
where
in
it goes,
Utah.
Corpus Christi, Texas. No, we got plenty of it over here. We got the Gulf of Mexico over here, man.
Yep.
Nice. No, I've heard so there's some really good fishing out there.
Oh, the Reds are phenomenal, dude. They are fighters.
Yeah, we've just got a lot of bass and trout up in the mountains north of where I live. There's really good trout fishing. One of my friends is a professional fly fisherman, and he will pull some
Nice.
absolute beautiful stuff. But I'm far too
Nice.
impatient. I'd rather just go and dump a bunch of rounds at USPSA for the afternoon and then go home.
That sounds like fun too.
It is.
That sounds like
my
fun.
wife gets a little
Let's,
upset at the amount of money it costs, but
it is. I mean, it's you know you have to have some outlets, and what
Yeah.
really helps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kibi's back. Kibi's back.
There he is.
I said I'd be back. It took me a minute. I had to
Just a little
do some
minute.
gas and things.
So let's get back to the topic at hand of found parts. Now, again,
Excuse me for just a second. I'll be back.
I think if people kind of we could start making parts. I mean, if you've seen the influx of home CNC machines, right? Now, if people started making the parts for lightsabers, and we can kind of get a small influx of new life parts into the saber, right? Because people can create the kind of parts that we have seen within TCSS, but a whole different style that comes out. Now, if you add that to, let's say, some parts that you would get from Home Depot or Lowe's, or add on to what a saber can hold on to in terms of either greeblies or on the saber itself without having greeblified your whole saber. Would it be in universe? Maybe not. But again, there are so many stories and so many things that we haven't seen within universe. We don't know what really is out there or could be out there. And take example of the speeder bike type saber, right? So
Yep.
again, we have not begun to see different sabers come out. That maybe there's different ships and different areas of the universe that we've never seen, and the creativity and the expansionality of finding parts in universe, regardless of where you go. Let's say you go to Kajimi, or you go back to Mustafar, or you go back to this, you go back to that other planet. We haven't seen anything come out of these planets. We haven't seen anything come out of these planets yet, and that is where I think we're going to get a resurgence of loved hilts, because we haven't tapped into anything else yet. It's all the same stuff right now, but once people start dabbling and getting different things, different looks, the speeder bike hilt, who knows? Maybe somebody's gonna make, we're making hilts from in the games and stuff, but we still haven't seen what could be buried in any of these other planets that we hear about, right? Kashyyyk, we get the Gunji one, but who's to say any of these other Wookiees have not produced something different?
I'd love to see
wood
people
hilt
start digging
wise.
into the automotive industry for found part sabers. There's a lot of cool stuff you could do that way.
Yeah, I mean, look at Obi-Wan's from
Yeah.
the original trilogy. Those are some both automotive parts and rifle parts.
Well,
Yep,
actually,
you got the
no, one
British
was
Mark
rifle
6 hand
part,
grenade.
rifle part, hand grenade, camera, part of a Browning machine gun, and a sink.
Yep. That is correct.
Which one had the Rolls Royce
parts
part?
were made when using that lightsaber.
Which one had the,
Oh,
had the
hell,
Rolls
man,
Royce
dude.
part? I can't
Huh?
remember. I remember there was a saber from the OT that had a that had a Rolls Royce part. I can't remember from
That was the Obi-Wan. It was a Rolls Royce Electra. It was a nozzle.
The Rolls Royce. Yeah.
Yeah, it was from
Okay.
Obi-Wan's emitter.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, automotive parts not unheard of, especially
The model
now,
kits
like,
specifically too. There's so much stuff.
so I mean,
There is, but I just think that we haven't tapped into hardly a
we
third
have
of it.
We have it. Like story wise, as far as the franchise goes, the story is very young. It's been out for as long as some people's grandparents, but it's honestly a very young story. We have barely touched the tip of the iceberg.
Mm-hmm.
And on the real
Like the
world
filter.
end of things, it's just I think the and I'm partially to blame. I'll admit it. A lot of the guys like me who started with the Nexus and the TXQ catalogs, it's our fault. We made everything so accessible and so affordable that it kind of drained the creativity out of the room. It is what it is.
That's a valid point.
I mean, it is nice that there are some saber designs that are getting updated to look more accurate.
I personally don't see it as a drain of the creativity, because creativity is subjective to each person. You either got it or you don't.
It is conjunctive.
The
I agree
benefit-
with that.
The benefit to guys like you that have made it a lot more accessible for guys like me who actually use their sabers, you got a base canvas to work with. You have something to start with. You have a base idea to start with, and then your imagination takes you wherever it takes you.
Well, I'll amend my statement then. What I think what I meant to say is that because it was so affordable, people no longer had to go the extra mile to try to come up with something themselves.
Right. Especially like 20 years ago when that was literally all anybody was doing.
Yeah, I mean, it took me 4 months to source and figure out how I was going to build my original TCSS Saber. And a lot of people, there'd be the build logs that would be months long, where you just one piece at a time, just slowly putting it together before the days of pre-built chassis, and everything was just so accessible,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think a lot of people are
and
they
like
buy their lightsabers and as soon as they get them, they want to make it their own by modifying it and doing some custom work on it, and that's the creativity behind it as well. Yeah, you can get a legacy lightsaber, but once you get it, like me, if I were to get a legacy, I'd like to customize it, make it my own.
To quote Star Wars Episode 4, what a piece of junk. I will, if somebody pays me to say that.
We really haven't seen any junk sabers. I mean, we've seen a few. We've seen a few, but there is not that many out there.
No, I mean, you got space junk, but that is literally their whole brand and MO. It's not like,
but that's
it's
unique
not the
to
type
them.
of junk.
I mean, that's good.
It's unique to them. Is unique to them and only them. It's not like what we're talking about with the found parts, the junk sabers. Like you just have a whole plethora of junk in front of you, and you just figure a way to play Legos with it.
I feel like the closest thing to that was the Jedi Academy series with the vast majority of the hilts in that.
Mm-hmm.
It looked a lot more lived in. They were a lot more. They were simple and they were basic, but they looked less polished, less clean.
Yeah, and I think the prequels are, I won't say to blame, but they played a big part in the craze for pristine sabers. Me personally, I like real world weathering. Throw that thing from 3 stories high on the concrete. Give me some actual damage, some scars, some dents. Get that thing nice and dirty. I wanted to feel like
I think
this thing has seen some action.
Pristine sabers has. Yeah, I agree because the The pristine sabers are in a league of their own, right? But when you're in universe, you know the universe is dirty. Depending if you've been on the war or not, war, Order 66, and it depends on
the era.
if you're a youngling, if you're not a youngling. I think like youngling sabers should be pristine sabers because they're starting out, they're new, right?
I
have
have
like
the
an
opposite.
Obi-Wan. Of course, it's going to be weathered because it's used.
I actually have the
so to
opposite
speak.
take. I think the Padawan ones should look like they were handled by an irresponsible Padawan.
Yeah, if they're training
No,
sabers,
I
and they're
agree
just
with
pulling them
that.
from a
No,
box,
okay, I stand corrected. But if it didn't seem that way, but again,
But no, like some people, I ain't gonna lie. Some people do like it just
crap
pristine,
flex.
like it just came out of. Yo, Scott.
But you know what? I gotta admit too, when I make a part, I mean, it's just to see the shiny metal on it and then put it on the saber. It looks nice. But then my taste is weather. So when I start weathering it, that's my taste. But like he
Right.
said, people like the pristine, shiny.
Blakathy. That's my boy Blake Cook in the chat.
There is a market for that for sure. And I think the big distinction is like, you have your prequel trilogy stuff that was all perfect and polished and clean. And then you have your original trilogy stuff where everything had oil stains and there was dirt on everything. And it looked like a lived in Western, really. And that was kind of the vibe that George Lucas was going for. And I like that the sabers reflect that as well. They look worn, they look used, they're not clean, with the exception of the hero hilts and a couple of the scenes that you see, but everything has that really beat up aesthetic. The Millennium Falcon was a hot rod. It was supposed to be a cobbled together, barely functional rocket with wheels strapped to it, like a lot of the greaser cars in the 50s were, and that was exactly the vibe. So I like that.
But even the hero models, like we'll say the scene from I see you.
I'll be right back, guys.
The lightsaber.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
we can hear you.
Even that has some.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. Even like a hero hilt like that has some oil traces. It looks like he just deflected some speeder bike bolts and lopped off a stormtrooper.
Yeah,
it's still technically pristine, but if you take a real close look at it, it's a little gritty. It's a little gritty. Same thing with the episode 4 Graflex, gritty because it's a relic, and then episode 5 you get the same relic, slightly more updated, but he's still an irresponsible Padawan.
Right.
Like you get jumped by a Wampa. For whatever the reason, the Wampa decided to preserve your saber in snow and ice. I still want to know who decided to write that scene, because that just made no sense.
It knew what a saber was.
Apparently.
It's like the deleted scene where the stormtroopers they're like walking through the base and they like open the door and it just like reaches out and grabs one and pulls them back into the door.
I mean, I kind of wish those scenes were included, but at the same time,
They might. If I remember hearing correctly, through the grapevine, they were going to be re-releasing the original trilogy at some point with the OG cuts. So who knows? We might get some of that.
You know what they need to do for this the pilots in Return of the Jedi for the Battle of Endor? Most of them were female pilots, and they just dubbed over male voices. That would be nice.
Which one? The A-wing pilots?
Yeah, some of them. Yeah.
They were chicks.
Yeah. I would really love to see like maybe a limited series or a one season of just straight all female pilots.
That'd be cool.
I would love to see that.
Going back to what you were saying, the Wampa saber. Have y'all watched Jedi Arms Dealer?
No.
Jedi Arms Dealer and Anthony actually came up with a Wampa saber. It is a solid. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it is actually a kyber crystal clear rosin lightsaber. And he also made JAD actually also made a Graflex out of the clear and it is phenomenal because he also put it where he could hook it up to his car stereos and you could hear it. Go to Jedi Arms Dealer stuff and check it out, man. It's really wicked stuff. And Anthony and Jedi Arms Dealer came up with that lightsaber of the Kyber Crystal saber, right, itself. And then they did a comic piece with the Wampa with the saber, right? And I named the name of the Wampa. And it's been such a long time that we did that. I'd have to go back and look at the one of the original saber tucks that we did on there. And I believe it was probably 2021 when we did that. I'll have to go look at it and see if y'all can check it out. I'll put it on and see if y'all can check it out. But it is so unique, right? That nobody would ever think that a Wampa, especially a Jedi Wampa Master, would have a lightsaber, but if pure crystal, kyber crystal lightsaber.
It sounds like something
it's
from
so
Robot
interesting.
Chicken.
Yeah, I mean it's an interesting concept, man. But JD also did a quite a few videos where he did the timeline of once he started, the custom crystal chambers and where he is and what he's done so far within the community of it, right? And it's so interesting. So if you go and you look up Jedi Arms Dealer and look at his YouTube channel and look up all those videos, oh my god, dude, some of those videos are pretty awesome. He even did the KR Sabers thermal detonator with a RIF button that you could use to do it with a keychain, basically a car starter, a car remote, and it's pretty neat, man. So if you guys haven't checked out Jedi Arms Dealer stuff, check it out, man, because you'd be blown away from the stuff that he did.
He did a live thing just recently, a couple of days ago, didn't he?
Oh, did he? I didn't see that. I need to check it out if he did.
I think he did. I didn't get the chance to watch it yet, but anytime he puts something out, I watch it. He does a lot of good work.
If you have the link, please send it to me. I'd love to go
Same.
watch.
I think it was on Facebook that that I saw it, but I was just scrolling through. I didn't get a chance to actually listen to it. I'll see if I can find it. Hey, real quick question: if you guys were buying a blade plug, would you buy one that has both the
Oh, what up, Cal?
Would you buy one that has both the 7/8 and the 1 inch, or
Oh yeah, that's me.
separate?
You just saw Blake Cook's comment. Yeah, that's me. That's my homeboy.
Blade Cook.
That's my brother.
Oh, okay.
Chet's in the house. What up, Chet? And again, going towards finding these parts. I think if we went back, I think we need to go back to basics, dude. And if we go back to basics, the not only will the custom side of things come back stronger than ever, right? But we also will get an influx of new styles, new hilts, new creativity, new blood. And yeah, it may kill like all of the, and I'm sorry to say this, drop shippers type stuff, right? But
Well, I hope that it
hear me out
does.
before y'all. You know, it may kill him out, but it may not. It may put him on the back burner. So I mean,
I say
you know
if
what
it
I
kills-
mean?
If it kills the majority of the drop shipping business, but not the more successful ones like Vader Sabers, Rebel Sabers, and whatnot, I'm fine with that. Like Neo Sabers, I want them
Yeah, I second that.
like
Yeah, I third that. I third that. I think we do need some of the drop shippers.
mostly the ones in the US. The ones in Europe and Asia, that's a different story.
Yeah.
Especially
I feel like
in
the US
UK
ones
and-
are too plentiful. There's
Yeah.
too
There are
many.
way too many.
Yeah, there are. I agree.
It's not only just too many, but there's also one, they ain't selling anything different than what the next vendor
Exactly.
is selling. And it's also not enough to go around.
Yep.
It's just
All it
not.
does is make us all equally poor. You know, if I want to come up with a new design, I need the capital to be able to do that. And if, you know,
Mhm.
I'm offering the TXQ, the Nexus catalog, and I use those funds to then put out more custom stuff, the less sales that I make, the less money I have to make new stuff for people. So it washes. It sucks, but it is what it is. So I'm perfectly
Yeah.
fine with, you know, a lot of it going under. I'll survive. I'll be fine.
Yeah, there's definitely a concrete list, at least for me, of vendors, dropship vendors
not
that I don't
much,
want to see
Orlando.
go bye-bye.
But welcome back, dude.
There's a good list of dropship vendors I don't want to see go bye-bye. Because they do good work, they're good people, they do good business.
Yeah,
And that
it's a
is
lot of work.
that is necessary.
Yeah, people. Yeah,
in this
Like
overabundance
Chris
of dropshippers.
Chris the Geek Shop. He's a good guy, dude.
Yes.
He's a dropshipper,
Yes.
but he's a good guy.
Yes.
You know, he's honest. He's honest, and he tries
Yeah,
to
but
help people.
That also goes to my point. Like you see, we have like that short list that you can literally put on a single hand.
Yeah.
well,
And
the
I
misconception
think-
too is like we do, you know, 3 clicks and we take your money and that's it. Maybe some people are doing that. I don't know, but I personally put up tens of thousands of my own dollars to create, you know, a much better experience. And then on the other side, when I can buy the inventory and have it on hand so that I can send stuff out directly from where I live to my US based customers, I do that. But if, you know, somebody's buying from me on the other side of the world, it makes no logical sense for me to spend $80 to ship it from the USA all the way over to Denmark or Germany or South Africa or wherever it is it's going. Sometimes it's actually cheaper to send it straight from my the amount of product that I have stored that's mine overseas. It's cheaper that way, but it doesn't diminish the quality of it. But I let people know up front, it might come from there if you live on the other side of the world. It is what it is.
Yeah. And plus, when
And
it
I
comes
have a
to
feeling that a lot of people decide that quality in the hill comes from, you know, certain aspects of things, but the quality should be very, you know, people need to do their homework, plain and simple, because if you know who is reputable and where the quality is within those parameters, then that's where your money should go. But again, some people are trying to make a quick buck. I get it. They want to live. They want to do something other than a regular, normal 9-to-5 job. I get that. But are you really willing to sacrifice quality?
Cool.
Oh,
Did we lose them?
Hey, I got real quick, guys. I got company over and they're calling me for dinner, so I'm gonna have to call it quits for tonight. I'll watch the rest of the show later on.
Shoot.
But,
Okay.
Want to wish everybody a good day and have fun with the rest of the show. I'll talk to y'all later.
Good to see you, bro.
All right,
Good to
bud.
meet you.
Yeah.
Well, I'll share a quick anecdote real quick on that topic of drop shipping. I had a guy reach out to me and he asked me, he said, you know, what makes it any different buying from you as opposed to buying it on AliExpress? And I said, well, to be perfectly honest with you, I said, the big difference is going to be that you're buying it from me. So I help you with any of the warranty repair issues. I go to bat if there is a problem that they won't handle, I'll pay out of my own pocket to make it right. And I make sure that you don't have to deal with any of the nonsense dealing with like a third party, non-official source. So what a lot of people don't understand is when you buy a saber from AliExpress, for instance, like, yeah, you can go buy an OB1 EP3 and it's, 150, 180 bucks. What they don't know is a lot of the times what you're buying is either a factory return that's been bought secondhand, or you're buying from somebody who's just drop shipping in China, who actually does not care at all who you are. You're going to get zero product support. You might get a box that's been beaten up 6 ways from Sunday, and good luck getting any of your money back if you get it at all.
Extracts.
Yeah.
I'm not upset that extracts blacklisted.
Plus, I mean, well, I will say though, if you know a good installer, at least if you drop ship buy 89 sabers from a drop shipper, at least you can send it to them and they won't screw you out of your money, like James from Mountain Sabers.
Sorry guys, can you all hear me right now or not?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so I do apologize. This thing is ridiculous. I think there's a windstorm that's going on right now.
But to your point, Gareth, about drop shipping an empty 89, one of the things that I'm working towards right now is designing, like I said, my own custom chassis that'll have accent LEDs. It'll be Profi 3.9, 26 millimeter bass speaker. So it'll be like all of the premium stuff that a lot of people want. And it's going to be really, really nice looking. So it'll be like a Goth 3D. It won't be nearly as high end as that. I don't want to promise that. But it's going to be much better than just your drop-in core from Nexus or TXQ. And it's going to be affordable, and you'll have the option to have the custom saber fonts that I provide that will be installed on it, so that when you buy it, you can just drop it straight in and it will be a plug and play.
Is this for 89 sabers or for just...
Oh, good night, Mo.
Do it for everything.
I didn't know you were going out, dude. Sorry.
Okay. One thing, well, I mean... Yeah, I would like to talk about that later because
sure thing.
Yeah, I made a deal with Chris Geek Shop, and I'll talk to you about it later.
Yeah, no problem. But no, my plan is to do it for the custom stuff that I have made from the different suppliers that I work with, and then also to offer it as a drop-in core for people with just your standard, like an SNV4. Looking to see if I have one laying around. But yeah, you could just drop it in. That's the goal. We won't have that ready at launch. At launch, it'll be something more akin to a drop-in core for my own custom stuff. But yeah.
Speaking of the new cores, did you hear about the whole Xeno V4 thing?
I have. I don't know how flow-through is going to work on a double-ended USB-C. That I'm a little leery about that.
I
am too.
I'm a little bit interested. I'm interested in how, like, I heard from Johnny Collado of Dark Wolf that it's like has an onboard AI or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know too much about it. I just know it seems like a great idea in theory.
And also, one thing I am curious
AI
about
is so overrated.
What I am curious about is whether or not the soundboard will take the soundboard files that's already been done for Xeno 3. Like,
I'm sure it will. I'm sure to be backwards compatible. That would be such a dumb decision to not make it backwards compatible for all their previous customers. That would be completely tone deaf. But hey, it's China, so.
Well, I mean,
yeah, but I think AI is so overrated too, because everybody thinks that AI has this and that, but AI is the same thing. You put garbage in, you get garbage out. I mean, it's not. Well, no, it's not by no means perfect.
I think it's sort of. From what I understand, the AI is like sort of like you can like tell the AI to switch different settings and whatnot. Like, for example,
that would be useful. More of an algorithmic function than anything.
Like you could tell it to switch sound fonts instead of having to do the button thing, which would be nice. Especially, I could just pop in a core and just
Yeah, exactly. If they go in and just change it all instead of just making it more smooth and flawless, I agree. I don't want to have to rebuild things either. That's kind of why I've been going with the Profi stuff.
Yeah.
Now, I do like the fact that you can go and do different cores and or one single core, and it goes into 4 or 5 different hilts, right? Because you do diminish the amount of stuff that you have, right? You may have 5 or 6 hilts, and then you got 5 or 6 different chassis, and then you got to switch out the chassis for this and this and that. Whereas you
Right.
have one chassis and you switch out to all these different different hilts, and
Yeah.
that I think is going to be. I hope that becomes the norm, because you when you have a singular use in a core within, whether you use a Profi or whatever board you're using, but when you can utilize that singular core for 5 different kinds of hilts, yeah, you're gonna have less stuff around your house. You mean you don't have all these different cores laying around. Then you got to go, oh, I need this core, that core. No, a core that looks just as cool on everything else that you have in those 5 different hilts. Let's say maybe you need 2 cores, 3 cores at the most. You don't need 10 or 12 cores, even though you got 30 or 40 hilts.
Right.
You know?
And I will say I love the way that the Nexus stuff is just so accessibly and easy to install. Like, I just bought a brand new, Xeno version 3 core that I put in this for a buddy of mine who has one of my original Yun sabers, and it dropped right in. It's super simple. And it replaces the crappy one that he had in it from before, because the new stuff is really stable. And I like that, but it doesn't have any soul to it. It's just function. It works, but it's not, it's nothing to look at, really.
Yeah, I really think that it should be more functional than anything else. I mean, if you're going to have a shelf queen, should you really put electronics in a shelf queen?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think about that. I mean, think about that, because
all my hilts are shelf queens, but they can fight.
then they're not true shelf queens.
Screw your definition of shelf queens. All my sabers are queens, and if they can't fight, they're thoughts.
That's funny.
But they fight, so you can't consider that. Oh, okay. This is my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own. I don't do that. But if you got a queen that's sitting on the shelf, it's not doing anything. But if you can fight with it, then it's not a true shelf queen, because you can pull it off and kick some ass. Right?
There's a fine line. There's a fine line between the two with a blurry center.
Okay, I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that.
You can have like your 1-to-1 movie replicas that you sourced all the original parts for with like a Goth 3D, like Master Chassis. I wouldn't want to fight with it. And that's what I tell people when they buy some of the Profi sabers that I offer. They're like, hey, can I fight with this? I'm like, hey, yes. Do you want to? Maybe not.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. No, I agree. Unless you got money to buy the same thing over and over and over again. But who these days has that kind of money?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
But for me, I mean, if I'm going to have a shelf queen, maybe one. Okay, let me rephrase that, dude. Maybe one shelf queen that you can put electronics to. Let's say you start up with your phone, right? So you can use that. You start it up with your phone, and it's on the. You don't have to touch it, but you've got some guests over. They are Star Wars fans just as you, and it becomes a conversational piece on the shelf that you can light it up and start talking about. So. Barris, I'll retract my original, shelf queen comment, and we'll go with that. Okay. Hey, come on.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
I stand.
Oh, no.
I can stand corrected, and I can say, I can admit when I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Not many people in this industry will admit shit like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, I see that point at that shelf point at Queen for that kind of electronics and not being able to get into a fight with it. Yes, I agree with that, and I stand corrected.
That's actually a big
So
point of contention for a lot of my new customs right now, because the magnetized core that I have in them is just fine for display purposes. It works perfectly well for everything. But what I've run into that was a completely unforeseen. It's my own fault. I should have thought a little bit further about it. I was just so consumed with making sure the hilt was beautiful to look at that I didn't really think about whether or not the hilt or the core itself might have problems. And so when you swing it, the centrifugal force of the motion of it will actually separate the magnets. So what I did was I worked up just a little spacer, the combat spacer that people can just ask me for, and I just include it. And it just takes up that extra distance at the bottom without blocking anything, and it will just snug everything up a little bit tighter, and it solves the problem. But that's on me.
So then, would you say that it would be more advisable to get it empty or get it installed?
So, I mean, yes and no. So the core that's in it is perfectly serviceable. It's a solid X-Tech chassis. It works great. There are some things that I want changed about it. And I've been talking to my engineers about that, and I explained to him very clearly what I do and don't want. And the big one is that we're not going to be doing the magnets moving forward. Everything's going to be just a solid core chassis. I get that people want the pogo pins for the quick connect and everything. I don't know. I personally like solid core chassis. I think if you loosen up a single set screw and the whole thing comes out and it's got a crystal chamber and it's beautiful to look at when you're servicing the saber, you can still have the hilt come apart in two sections so that you can have easy access to your battery, your kill switch, your recharge port, and your accent LEDs without compromising anything. I just don't see a reason to have a two-part chassis, me personally. So the cores that I'm going to be designing for the future are going to be solid. But to answer your original question, Barris, you could order it installed. And if you want, like I said, we'll just include the spacer, and I've tested it. Solves the problem completely. And it's actually really convenient. Here, I'll grab one so I can show you real quick. But it's super convenient to just be able to pull the chassis out real quick with the magnets for modding the Profi board on the fly. So you can just plug it in, unplug it, throw it back in, pull it back out, and it's super fast, which was what I was thinking originally when I used it. I was like, man, this is just going to be super convenient for everyone, until they were like, hey, when I swing this in combat, the magnets are pulling apart. And I was like, oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. Well, in that case, I think it would be good. I'm guessing in my case, if I'm going to buy from you, I'm going to wait until that whole thing is fixed, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, that's perfectly understandable. We've got the there are a couple exceptions, like the Dynasty series sabers. I'm redesigning the Jason Solo and the Anakin Solo, but the Ben Skywalker that's out right now does utilize the magnet system, but it's a lot further up in the hilt and it doesn't suffer from the same issues. So
I actually was helping a guy who recently purchased a Ben Skywalker from you, and it looked like he bought the newest one, but he also bought one of the older.
I saw that.
That was unfortunate.
I wish he would have asked me, because I would have told him it's not Nexus compatible anymore. But
yeah, but I mean, but I'm just hoping that other customers are able to learn about that going forward.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's just been. I just feel like when it comes to collecting, you get so obsessed that I sort of forgot just how life can be, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
Like I got just so self-absorbed that I just need to just take a break.
I do too. I mean, I run things over here, and it's very difficult to take a step back and not be so consumed with what I'm working on that I lose sight of, my wife and my kids, and just the things that are most important. But I try to be there, present for my customers.
Yeah.
I mean, I have nothing
Well,
without you guys.
first.
So
Family first, bro.
yeah, but it's a tough line to walk. When I got, I have my suppliers are on the other side of the world, so I got to stay up till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, be up by 6. So I have to talk to them to get problem solved, go to bat, get my customers' replacements sent out, and then wake up the next morning and I've got people messaging me, asking me questions about this, that, and the other. So it's a lot, but I'm not complaining, just being honest.
It is, and one of my gripes, and I do say this, and because I'm not in that position that you are right now, right? Eventually, I'd like to become a installer and do my own things, but at the same time, I want to make sure that people have to understand that, such as yourself, people have regular jobs on top of what you're already doing. And,
Oh yeah.
Family and your regular job comes first, and they have to understand that you can't. Yes, they're paying. I understand that. They do need to give some time, because you have a life as well. Do you have kids? Do you have kids?
I do.
Shit.
Yeah. My wife is pregnant with our second right now.
Oh, Mazel Tov.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Mazel tov. Congratulations.
So again, people have to understand that with that kind of situation, you have to give that person time doing it. And I was one of those people that didn't understand with the installs until I started doing them myself, right? And so again, when I learned to do installs myself, I didn't understand what it took for people who were already installers to do, and the time that it took, and the patience, and this and that. And so I was telling myself, why is it so much money, and what is the reason that they can't do it in this amount of time? And when I started finally learning and doing installs myself, I kicked myself in the ass, because I found out what an installer goes through and the time that it takes to install a saber, and the amount of respect that I have for the installer now, right? And I'll tell anybody, because if you do not know how to do it yourself, you do not know what the installer goes through, especially if they have their primary job on top of that, then they have a family life on top of that. You have to take that into account for when they're getting your stuff done. Yes, you're paying for things, but be a little patient. They'll get it done, but they want to do it right.
And I'm not going to lie and pretend like I've not screwed things up, because I have. Everybody who's in this business at some point is going to fumble the ball, and they're going to screw up somehow. I've done it, and I'm not proud of it, but it is what it is. It's a learning, it's a learning curve. All I ask for from my customers is just the grace to either A, make it right, or to do better in the future with things. So like I had a guy who ordered one of my Yun sabers, and it arrived with some defects on the hilt. So I had him send it back to me. I got him a new one sent out. I had it brought to me first so I could do a quality inspection on it, because I didn't trust the warehouse to do a good enough job. And then I sent him a video of it before I shipped it to him. I haven't done it yet, because I told him that I'm also going to download the new blade styles that I've been writing for the custom sound fonts that are on it. So yeah, I do the best I can, but I can only speak for myself.
And that's anybody. And people should understand that you try to do the best you can. Yes, there are a few others out there that don't, that they just want that quick book. But the real ones, such as yourself, the honest ones, such as yourself, those are the people that they need to understand. Hey, okay, I'm gonna take your time. You'll get it right. You know what I mean? And again, for somebody who, hey, no worries, KB. Uh, Somebody like myself, uh, I have the utmost respect for installers now more than ever because of me learning to install a saber. And for those that have not learned how to install a saber, you cannot really complain too much because you have to understand of what they go through in making it right for you. They're gonna make it right for you. They're gonna do it right, but you gotta give them that time.
Yeah,
You gotta give
I'd
them
say
time to
the
do it right. And if you're in a
probably
hurry
one.
for it,
Go ahead.
if you're that much in a hurry, buy a drop shipping saber that already works out of the box. Because the thing is that kind of scenario and somebody who's installing it and trying to do it right for you is way different if you're in that much of a hurry. So again,
And that's why I have a lot of stuff that
plead
is
with
made
you.
through the main distributors like Nexus and TXQ because I need to know for my customers when they buy one of my custom lightsabers that's a original design from myself or like an EU saber. I need to know that when I send it to them that it's going to be 100% perfect. Because I'm putting, not only am I putting my reputation on the line with every sale, but I took their money. I owe them something. I owe them a functional working saber. They trusted me with that purchase. They could have gone with somebody else, but they came to me. So I try to treat every single customer that way. And there are people who fall through the cracks. It happens, but it's gotten easier as the orders have diminished because there's just so many drop shippers. I've been able to work with the workflow's evened out, and I don't have a ton of people that work for me. I've just got, my main guy who does my he does my CAD work. I'm the mad lad who just comes up with the concepts. And then I have my my shop overseas that will do my independent stuff. And then I have Nexus and TXQ. So
Who do you have on customer
That's
support?
cool.
sorry, what was that?
Who do you have on customer support?
So customer support is yours truly.
Yeah.
I do the web dev, I do the accounting, I do the design, I do pretty much everything outside of the actual like physical programming. And even then, a lot of the profis that come through have passed through my hands and I've quality checked them and had to redo the blade styles and fix them before I sent them on because they came with a corrupted SD card or something happened and I just wasn't happy with it. So I wear many hats, but yeah, I don't have anybody that's working directly for me in that respect. It's just little old me.
Hey,
And you see, chat, this is
So
why
people, be
you
patient,
go to
please.
reputable vendors.
You'll get a good saber. Just be patient.
Yeesh.
Be patient. You'll get a good saber.
I do have a caveat. I feel like there should be a caveat with that. Be patient, yes. However, if any vendor has you waiting more than 6 months for your
That's
saber, it is
unacceptable.
custom.
Completely.
Absolutely unacceptable. Get your money back.
Well, yeah,
There is no reason for that. None whatsoever.
yeah.
The
No,
longest I've
more than
ever
6
had
months. I
anybody
agree
wait
with that. I
is
agree with
1
that.
month. Like I had 3 this last month. There was a batch of 6 orders that were going international. 3 were going international. 3 were coming to the States, and they got rejected by customs. I didn't catch it for a week. The maximum wait time was a month. I refunded each of the customers a portion of the sale. I had to eat like close to $400.
Yeah.
Yeah.
crazy.
It is what it is.
Like a month is reasonable. Especially with
Yeah, a
what's
month is
going on now.
reasonable. I agree with that.
1 month is reasonable. The amount of people I've seen in the lightsaber Discord that are still waiting on their Saber Forge order is insane.
I know.
Yeah,
I've
now that's
heard
crazy.
bad stories.
It's insane.
But that's again why I want to go to small batch orders. I want to go to one-off custom. So like I'll let you guys know, and whoever is in the chat for all the the people who are interested. I'm going to be doing the GI Joe, Storm Shadow, and Snake Eyes katanas, and those are going to be probably limited at 50 when they're I'll make 50 of them when they're gone. If people want more, I'll make more, but I want to keep it small because I want to manage the orders and I don't want them to get chaotic and out of control. I'm going to do the same thing for the Connor McLeod saber. There's only going to be 100. When they're gone, they're gone. And if people want more, then I'll make more. But what I don't want to happen is where I take orders for things that don't exist. I will never take your money for something I don't have. It will never happen.
Yeah.
I don't know who would do that.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the McLeod, the McLeod one.
Hey,
me too.
Luke,
Kind of a cloud.
real quick,
Yes.
just wanted to point this out to you. Go to your ROM coda on your website and look at the description of the product.
Going there now.
Tell me what's wrong with the description.
Well, I'm not even able to access it right now. It's under maintenance. There could be there's probably a typo though.
Oh, it's more than a typo.
Let me see
There
let
it is.
me see what's going on.
Oh.
And see, I can't catch all this stuff without your guys' help, so I appreciate it.
No, yeah.
Vegas is good at finding stuff like that, man. He is good at finding
he's
stuff
pointed out
like
several things to me in the past, helped me catch glitches and other things. I don't love this website. WordPress is very difficult to use. So we're rebuilding a new one with Wix. It's just going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah. Well, I'll just tell you what it is. You put the description for Jarek's lightsaber under ROM coda.
Oh, shit. All right, I'll get that fixed.
Oh, I skimmed fully past that. I'm on the website right now looking at it and read them, and I fully skipped past who it is.
Thank you for pointing that out. I'll get that fixed.
Man, Barris is the bro,
saber
dude.
looks beautiful though.
He can pick out stuff like that quick.
Well, I like to be attention to details. It's both a flaw and a
He's
strength.
very detail oriented. I have to
And see,
admit,
I'm a big picture guy,
Barris is one
so
of the most detail oriented people I've met.
Barris is that guy. He is that one of one.
yep,
Thank
I
you,
see it.
Orlando.
Cool.
Right, Orlando? Eagle eyes.
Eagle.
That's funny.
eyes.
Yeah, so I was wondering though, Luke, with your partner with 89 Sabers, what like specific hilts do you want on your what 89 hilts are you going to have for your website? Like,
Great question. So I want the Graflexes. I want the ES4, the ESB, and the ANH. The Vader hilts as well. I really love what they've done with those. I'm really keen to get the new Leia hilt. The EU Legends Leia.
but if a customer wanted to make a request for a certain Sabers by 89 Sabers, could you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. You know what you should do is with the Graflex and with the MPP, you should have the different versions, the swappable versions for yours, because when you think about it, well, at least have the option to purchase, because that way people can, swap out different parts and go from an ANH Graflex to a Force Awakens Graflex and so on.
No, it's a great idea.
I believe they called it the Graflex Supreme.
Yeah, the one that had the master chassis in it, right?
Yeah, but this one
Okay.
is the one where you can basically swap out the different parts and whatnot for just being able to do that. I mean, I have it with my Nexus graphics, and
They
it
have a
is
power of
perfect.
attorney.
I will say how the sausage is made. 89 Sabers is not what they used to be. They've had to downsize quite a bit, and that's actually a good thing because they're more willing to work with smaller vendors like myself. That being said, there is a waiting log for like custom requests. So trying to get something like that done, it's very possible. You just have to give me some time to make it happen.
Yeah, that's one of the problems, especially with Chris's Geek Shop. Like, for example, I'm trying to get the clamp to finish my Graflex Supreme, the Rise of Skywalker clamp and bottom part. And I know that the parts from 89 Sabers will fit, but it's just taking a bit, and he hasn't heard back from his rep about it.
Yeah, sometimes, this is again how the sausage is made. I know a lot of people don't really care, but when there is any kind of festival or holiday in China, we could be waiting days, and we have to stay up. If you're on the western half of the world, you have to stay up until they are around to answer your questions, which could be 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning before they get to their computer, go through their list of questions for the day. Or, if you're dealing with a middleman who's like a sales rep instead of working with the factory directly, God, you might not get an answer for a week.
Yeah.
It sucks. It really sucks. But I have really good reps that I work with that I've been working with for a really long time. And I've had to let them have it with both barrels occasionally, where I've just told them, like, your customer service for me personally is, it's garbage. I use stronger language, but it's absolutely terrible. And I've told them too, like, I paid you money that my customers have paid me in order to get this problem solved. Like, you better damn well fix it and make it right today. And it's, I try not to get too worked up about it, but I feel like I'm going to give myself an ulcer dealing with these people some days.
Understandable.
That's low key how I got blacklisted from X-Truck Sabers. They did not want to honor the warranty.
Yeah, it's.
I've ringed them out after complaining to James.
Yeah. Who was it again? What was the name of that?
X-Truck Sabers on Alley.
X-Track?
X-Trex.
X-Trex. I'll have to look them up. I send me the link for that.
Got you.
What I might do is, with the order that I put in with Chris Geek Shop, I might ask him to just forego getting the clamp and whatnot, have him refund a part of it, and then I could order it. I could ask Vader Sabers, since they have a really large surplus of Graflex parts, maybe they could get me that or something.
Yeah. The last hilt that I'm gonna get. Well, I've got an Annie and a Star Killer coming from Chris, hopefully soon. But I'm not in a hurry for him, so I can wait till he sends it out and stuff. I know he's been super busy with a lot of things.
Do you want a V2 to complete the Star Killer collection?
No, I'm good with only one Star Killer. That is it.
I gotta get this thing either fixed or send it to somebody to build me a new chassis.
Oh yeah.
Matter of fact,
chassis for the Star Killer.
That was a perfect question for Luke. Do you install the Profis yourself? Like sometimes. So if you do, how do you deal with the cram foo for a 1-inch diameter interior?
Aegis, that's for you.
Oh, sorry. So a lot of the time I have the chassis pre-built for me. Like I said, I don't do the actual like installs myself. That's one thing that I would love to do, but between being a dad and my full-time job, I do not have the time for that right now. So what a lot of the times what I'll do is I'll have them made for me, and then I'll have them brought in, and then I'll just quality inspect everything and then put them together as you get them and then ship them off.
Okay.
Sounds pretty reasonable, man.
Scott, I'm looking at the website right now. That was a auto-generated, just like a most suggested from WordPress when I made the website. I'm looking for it right now, though, because that shouldn't be there. I don't believe there should be anything about a power of attorney at all.
Somebody snuck it in.
Well,
AI.
like I said, it was just an auto-generated like disclaimer policy that WordPress made for me for the website. So
Yeah. Totally understandable. You can't control those things sometimes because when they put things in that, unless you're right there looking at it at the generation of it at that moment, you won't catch it. It'll be just automatically generated.
all right,
But,
cool.
Going back to found parts, let's take one last little stab at the topic here. So again, going back to found parts, if we go back to doing not installs, but little sabers from pipe sabers or so forth. Again, from Home Depot, Lowe's, or any hardware store, maybe even Ace, right? And you find those type of pipes. Well, let's say you have a lathe and you decide that you're going to make your own hilt. Again, building your own saber parts with a lathe and parts from Home Depot and so forth could exponentially again bring life back to what we had, what the magic of lightsabers were back in 2017 when it really hit hard and everybody started making custom hilts. And so with that, we still have seen some of the chassis that have been made out of copper, copper pipes. We've been seeing chassis that are 3D printed, but the chassis that are out of different materials as well, and rosin cores, rosin materials, but in copper. But there's so many other things that you can utilize to increase the found part availability. Go, like I said, you can go to any electronics store and cut things out, use a jigsaw, use whatever you can to make the part available to you, and to add that authenticity of the found parts within your saber. Greeblify the hell out of it if you can, if you will. If you were, that gung ho about it. If not, employ somebody to do that kind of work for you. You can also go to a machine shop and have them basically make a part for you that you're wanting to get made to put on your saber. Now, again, utilizing the stuff from TCSS, you would have to find out what the threading is and make a part from a company, and to see if that part would work and fit together. Other than that, again, going back to those home CNC machines that are coming out like wildfire right now, and it's got people in an uproar that like, oh shit, I can make my saber parts, I can do this, I can do that. But if you know how to utilize those cam the cam software. I can't use the cam software. I don't know how to do that. I would have to learn how to do that, and that would take me a long time. I'm dyslexic, and it'll take me a long time, but I can do it. And eventually I'll do it. And I had thought about that because I have a lot of ideas that I can't get out. And maybe I'll find somebody who decides they want to hear and maybe we can collaborate or something, and they can have my designs and bring them to life. I don't know. We'll see. But there's all kinds of different things that I want to get out of my head that I can't. But maybe I need to find somebody who can help me do that because I just don't have that kind of capital. However, again, I'll go to Home Depot. I'll find these kind of little nuts and bolts or whatever to put on the saber to make it look other than what it is. I mean, if it's just a saber that is plain, make it look not plain. 3D print a part, make it look different. Use rubber gaskets. Use something different, right? I mean, the different things that you can utilize out there is exponentially your ballpark.
Limitless. It's really limitless.
Exactly.
Like the only limitation is your imagination.
Yeah, exactly. You know that saying, and I forgot what movie it was from, but this world can be as big as I think here it is. If you remember Mark Dacascos, and it is Only the Strong, and he was telling the guy named Orlando, I guess, the guy that he really took to. He says, this world can be as little as your own little hood or as big as you want it to be. And that, I guarantee you, that quote right there, if anybody could listen to that and adhere to that, the world is yours. And you make it what you want to. And I found parts, whether it be, drop shipper or whatever, that is all your choice. You make that choice. You deal with the choices that you make. But again, the found parts, uniqueness. You want uniqueness? Do your homework. Don't just go to whatever. Have a little, don't be a sheep.
Really good a sketch pad.
But again, it's your choice. And everybody's choice. One thing that I do ask, respect the choices. No matter how small or big that they do, respect the choices. A lot of people may not have the funds that other people do. So whatever they order, respect what they have, because they may not be able to get what this other guy gets. We're all brothers and sisters, and we have fun in this Star Wars world. We get away from the real world. And again, respect the differences, because that is the important point of found parts. Whether good, bad, it doesn't matter. Respect the differences. And I
like the old saying goes, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all.
Agreed.
Yeah, you can keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Hey, so on that note, guys, I'm gonna have to peace out. I got some dinner to eat, and I want to see my wife for a little bit before the end of the night. So thank you so much for inviting me. Yeah, I've had a great time.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And again, I'm sorry, Barris, I didn't mean to.
It would be great if we could have you back on future shows, Luke. I mean, I
would love to join. It's been great just chilling and hanging out and talking shop. I enjoy it. And I get to meet all of you guys. So
yeah.
You're welcome anytime you want to come on. And don't feel like you have to come on, okay? Never feel you have to come on, but there's always an invitation for you. And Barris, we can try to get him into Saber Talk on there. And that way when I put the link in there, when he gets into the group, I can send the link, and you will always have the link right there, buddy.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Sincerely. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I mean, yeah. And so we're gonna go ahead and close up shop tonight too. And may the force be with you guys. Again, like and subscribe, Aegis Sabers. Like and subscribe to their website. I believe he is a genuine person with a genuine interest and love for sabers, and he's willing to help you out make sure you go to the website and buy some sabers. I think I'm gonna go ahead and buy some from him when I get a chance.
I will
No,
say my
matter of fact,
shop is a little bit more polished. So the website's kind of a mess.
You know,
I have to be
and
honest.
so yeah, so Barris and KB, go ahead and tell your information, buddies, so we can.
The Southern Skywalker on Instagram.
Barris, you want to start?
I just did. You're slow.
I
Okay.
think you're lagging.
KB.
KB's Workshop on TikTok and YouTube. KB _sabers on Instagram.
And
Oh,
I am Edmundo
and,
Cabrera the third. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Nope. Queen's Guard of Charlotte. We have our Jedi Knight Trials this July 5th. So I might be a little too battered to be on. I'm going through my second round of trials. I'm already knighted in one form. I'm going for 2 more.
And I am
But on that
Edmundo
note-
Cabrera the third. You can find me under Instagram and Facebook. You can also find this this video feed under the Mundo 7007 on Instagram. And again, if you need to email me, my email is d_Cabrera CABRERAIII @yahoo.com. That is my email, and you're more than welcome to email me and have a chit chat with me. I'll do the best that I can to get back with you whenever I can. Again, Facebook and Instagram, I'm on there. Hit me up, friend me, whatever you want to you like. And may the force be with you guys.
Really
I
cool.
thoroughly enjoyed all of this tonight, and may you all have a great and blessed week throughout this week.
Really quick as we close out. Master Allen of Level Up Sabers lost his best friend last year, and it's the first year of grief for him, and I just wanted to raise sabers up for the fallen.
Oh, okay, cool. I was gonna do the Crate Slayer light up, but I think the battery's dead. Go figure. Too many problems tonight, but it's all good. You got to roll with the punches. That's what it's all about, man. Again, may the force be with you guys. Aegis, keep in touch, man. We hope to have you again real soon.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Have a good night,
everybody.
Peace.
Bye.
Okay.